spot where John Kennedy stood and gave a speech. Just around the corner, Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton, Gerald Ford. But the courthouse is open. I've never been in here. These solid steel doors. Been here since 1856. These solid steel doors are a ton of piece. I know in 1913 they used this as a morgue for the Great Flood. The floors inside are the same as the Dayton limestone that's outside. View of the stage there. That's where Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton spoke. Everything echoes in here, so I have to be quiet. I'm the only one in here. That's the old computer right there, the old data saver. There's heat blowing out of that. That's cool. Hey, I'm at the Dayton Courthouse, Dayton, Ohio. Law dog. There's John Kennedy. You can see the cannon there. That spot is still available. That's the air conditioning and heating. This is the old courthouse in Dayton, Ohio. It's open to the public. Right now. You guys are fine.
Any questions?
How'd you get this job?
We volunteer.
You volunteer?
Yeah, we're down at Caroline Park.
Oh, so yeah, I've been over there too.
Good.
I did a lot of work on that building over there, as a matter of fact.
I was back in that room. I don't know if the guy checked in with you yesterday.
Oh, we're glad you're here.
Do you know the history? Do you know a lot of history on this building?
She does.
Okay. I don't want to question you if you don't know.
No, don't question me, but you can ask her.
Well, did you come here when Clinton or Reagan was here?
I did.
They're right out there?
I saw Clinton, and I wouldn't see Reagan.
You didn't care for Reagan too much? That's all right.
Yeah, I saw Clinton.
Now, John Kennedy spoke on the corner steps in 1960 out here. Senator Kennedy.
Oh, Kennedy?
Yeah.
I saw him, not here. I'm from Illinois, and I saw him speak down there.
Yeah, there's a picture of him where the cannon is. That limestone out there is still the same. So that's the original spot that he stood on. That's pretty cool.
Well, if you've got any questions, Judith's got lots of answers.
That's okay. Thank you.
So were you here when I heard about that?
Not that.
They ran something in the wall. Really? Before. Okay, I got you.
Probably almost 40 years ago.
Okay.
And they resealed everything, and they took some of the chimney stuff down to the flashing chimneys.
Yeah.
And all those bricks, where they are carefully stacked in the attic area. Yeah, it was sort of amazing.
How it's just gone. Yeah, he took over
why you can't get it down, because they're looking for somebody, like, maybe upstairs. Yeah. So, like, roach protocols, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's no big deal.
I'm not going there. Too many stairs.
I used to run up and down all the time.
They're not going to open up upstairs, are they? That's the original. You know the history on this building? You know a
pretty much,
lot of it? The 1913 flood. They use it as a morgue. Do you know what areas that they used for the morgue?
They were probably all over the building.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably on this floor,
Yeah.
especially.
When the presidents came here, that spoke here,
That somebody.
did they come inside the building?
Oh, yes and no.
Okay.
I was here for the Ford and the Reagan,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, Reagan.
Reagan actually spoke to the square,
Yeah.
Looking that way.
Clinton did as well.
yeah. And Ford spoke sort of from the corner of the building out onto Main Street as well as the square.
That's where Kennedy spoke at, the same spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, at that point, the new courthouse
Yeah.
was next door where Courthouse Square is now.
Oh, okay. I see.
I don't know if there's photos someplace.
There's of Kennedy.
In that other room right there?
I haven't been over there yet.
I know, it's in the,
Yeah, that other room, it's right on the other side of the floor.
I know that when Reagan spoke here, he was on the stage, but they had a white fence because they had both of the presidential limousines on the square,
right.
and he ran through those stairs right there. That's probably the way Clinton got in and out.
Well, the thing is, we had a lot of support staff here, and
I can't remember the name of the road. It's, what's that?
West 3rd Street.
It's still the street.
The first court case here was actually a divorce, right?
Yeah.
What, do you remember what year that was? Was it
1850.
1850 when they first opened it.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I think they're all, if it's not the
I'm glad they've been able to save this building all these years. There's so much history here.
Yeah, it's so much here.
They had a
Into that other room, and let's see if we can find
they had a big giant cash register out front once.
Yeah, that
they had
was for the flood campaign, and then they also did the bomb.
Yeah, they had a big bomber plane out here once too.
Yeah, and Big Frank Ford.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is. I came through here once and I saw that where Kennedy's stood.
But this was the new courthouse. I
Yeah.
refer to this as the new courthouse.
Yep.
And that came down for Courthouse Square. But there was a walkway from this building into that building.
Yeah.
And that's right where the restrooms
Okay, I see.
And then this was the jail.
Yeah, that was the jail. Mhm.
That was the jail.
I see the war bonds.
Yeah, that was a flood one.
Okay.
That was a flood one. Of course, then when the Wright brothers came through, parades for World War.
Yeah, there's so many pictures of. They've got pictures of horses tied up out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been here for so long. 18.
I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, there it is. You're right.
Yeah, because at one point they had a fountain out here. It was cast iron, and on this side it was for the horses to drink,
Yeah.
and then there was a little one on the side for the dogs.
Well, here it says watering trough. Is that?
Yeah, that is it right there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was actually a fountain because on the other side, on that side, it was a fountain for people.
Okay.
So, but I mean,
So
the
it
horses
covered
could come up,
everybody.
It covered everybody, and the little dogs could get out
Cute.
too.
That's cool.
And so this is the building you're talking about that they tore down.
Yeah, the
Yep.
new courthouse.
The
Yeah.
bigger one.
And the thing is, that's where county commissioners and everybody, and when they built the new administration building over by Sinclair, it was 10 stories high,
Yeah.
that's when all the offices moved. By that time, the jail was gone.
Is that the jail?
That was the jail.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Well, it's Second Empire style.
Imagine, they had a lot of court cases. They just had to transfer them
I
right
mean, it don't,
over
they
there.
out the back door.
Okay.
and-
Yeah.
You ought to come to Caroline Park and become an interpreter.
I've been over there, but I did work. I was working when I went over there, but as far as they have it set up where the people that came from Dayton,
Yeah.
like Chappelle and all that, but when I was working in there, I was amazed by the history of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like today, I lived in Dayton, most of my life, and I'm like, they're going to open up the courthouse for a minute. I want to see it.
Exactly. I mean, and this used to be the commissioner's table.
Yeah.
This was a backup. And the thing is that it got moved here.
So what is this?
Here's what? This one's the safe.
What are the little pockets?
Well, the recorders. You know,
Filing cabinet. That's it.
basically a little file cabinet kind of thing. It was not so much money safe,
Okay.
records safe.
Okay.
And they got the same steel doors on this too.
Yeah, this was a little bit later reiteration.
I know those two front doors are solid steel and they weigh a ton apiece. I know that.
Yeah, and you can push them with one finger.
Can you really?
They're that well balanced, yeah.
That's good.
And the shutters here are also iron, and those can be, they're about 500 pounds apiece. And they can be closed, and there's a bar that goes across to secure them.
Is there what?
Once they're closed up.
A battle?
Well, no, fire,
Fire?
a raid, you know. You can't hold it, they've got too much paint on them now. Then here's the bar. And then come up and then across.
Oh, yeah.
Slot will fit in.
Just keep it secure, yeah.
It's secure. Where's one they have to lock up?
I remember out east, going to in Vermont, and next to it, there were some old houses, and they had shutters that they were closed. I mean, you know, you'll always think of today's decoration.
Yeah. The two, sir, if you go outside, and walk along the side of the building, the 4 windows, 2 top and 2 bottom, at the very back, are actually fake. They don't go anywhere. It was to retain the symmetry of the building.
So those two in the back, the top ones is fake or no?
2 in the bottom.
Oh.
2 at the top and 2 at the bottom.
Okay.
Because that's where the courtroom is.
Right, okay.
And the thing is, with that being in the list, you know, there's no outside windows in it,
Right.
except the one right in the back.
So they're just fake windows?
They're just, I mean, they're real windows, but they go nowhere.
Oh, that's crazy.
The architecture.
They wanted to make sure it looked like a temple of justice. In fact, if you stand at the front and look at the colonnade, like on one corner, and then look straight down, there's a column in the back. And that again appears then as if it's a full colonnade around too. Or across the back, and it's only a single.
Did John Patterson ever have an office in here that you know of?
No.
But he's been in and out of here many times though, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
There's a picture of him standing there with, I don't know which governor it was, but he's right in front of the courthouse. I just came from the Patterson homestead.
Could be Cox.
Yeah, it was Cox.
Could
Yeah,
have been from the flood, you know?
yeah. He came down here for the flood, but I know he come in and out of here.
Yeah.
This actually used to be a very busy building.
Oh, it was huge. And married licenses were on the top floor at one point, so there were a lot of people in there.
You know what led? You know what kept them from opening the upstairs?
I'm sorry, but the echo, I didn't hear
Do
you.
you know what it is that kept them from opening the upstairs? They just don't want anybody up there. Or?
No, it's not been restored.
Oh yeah, it's not safe enough.
Yeah, it's not
Not
presentable.
Well, it's nice to be able to be in here though.
Oh, I know.
I like how the limestone is the same in here as it is out there.
The limestone was actually quarried from one of the quarries that is now behind 10 Wilmington.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's Dayton limestone. I do know
It's
that.
limestone, and it got the, when it's highly polished, it almost looks like marble. So, I mean, all the surrounds around the door and everything are.
Been a while.
And it's plastered over the,
Is that a courtroom?
that was, the auditor's office, I think.
Wonder how old these chairs are. They're in here. I know they've been here for a while. It's cool to see some Dayton history. Thank you guys for volunteering.
Oh, glad you're quite welcome.
You're quite welcome.
Thanks for your information.
No problem.
There's a picture out there where Senator John Kennedy stood right here, and one picture he was looking that way. He had a platform built up to about right here, but you can see that in the background. And then he gave a speech right over here. In 1960, John Kennedy gave a speech. You can see that, find that picture online too. He stood about right here. 2 Secret Services were on either side of the cannon there. It's cool that they opened it up. The NATO thing went on in here. It had everything shut down. Now this stage has seen a lot of people. Ford. I know for a fact it was Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan gave speeches from here. This would have been their view. You can look it up on YouTube. Bill Clinton, Dayton, Ohio. Ronald Reagan, Dayton, Ohio. This is the viewpoint that they had when they gave their speeches from right here. And again, on the one with Ronald Reagan, he stood a little more over in this area. But you can see in this back area, they have a tent over it. There's a white walkway, a walkway tent. That's because they brought Reagan this way to get him out, and Clinton the same way to get him out. He walked through here. There's a private tent that covered him up so he could be safe. He walked through here, and 2 of the presidential limos were sitting right over here, and Reagan they backed it both in. Reagan got in one of them, but these are the steps that they walk down. Yeah, she said the last 2 are fake windows that don't go anywhere. Yeah, that makes sense because I was just in there. They don't. They're boarded up. I never knew that. There's nothing behind them. I mean, they're not. It's just a brick wall. They just added them for the symmetrics of the building. The fence company's here tearing down the fence from where the NATO village was built up. You see some of it back there. Well, they got it open. Wish I could have got upstairs, but I'll take what I can get. A little bit of Dayton history. Fountain bottle, a little water on me. They fill most of it in. I'm about to get a splash of misty water. These, I believe, are the presidents that spoke here. Gerald Ford with a piece of bird shit on it. He served on the Warren Commission, and they came up with that bogus story about the Kennedy assassination. used to be a fountain where you could throw pennies in, and they changed it. But that old elevator, you can see in the video where Reagan came, you can see that tunnel that used to bring you across the street. You can see where it was, the imprint on the other building back there, but it brought you all the way across. And there was an elevator, a glass elevator that used to bring you down into the courthouse, but they took that out. Sadly, I also have a video on my channel of someone having a heroin overdose right over there where that guy's standing at. These are all the presidents that spoke at Courthouse. And they turn it off. And where I'm walking at right now is the area where the jail used to be. Across the street, the arcade. A lot of history here. I believe they had to make another one of these because this doesn't look original. Those are the windows that I was just in. First floor. All right. I'm just on the other side of the NATO village. They're taking the fences down now. I bet them guys are making a killing. See them up there? I bet they're making a killing on that one. Off to the left is the old post office. It used to be the courthouse, and then they used it as a post office. Now it's a bankruptcy court. Off to the left, right over there. That one's been there for a long time. Coming up on Dayton City Hall. That's where they had the road closed off. It's open now. It's starting to liven up back here, downtown Dayton. I got one video from this intersection right here in 1990, and it was just busier than hell. That hotel's been there for the longest time. I don't know the complete history on it, but I do know it used to be a DoubleTree Plaza. You know what? I think I'll look it up and do one on it. That hotel is incredibly famous for this. Breaking the law. Uh-oh. He's breaking the law. That's back behind the Dayton arcade there. I smell barbecue ribs somewhere, man. I know inside that building right there there's a lot of different restaurants and stuff. Now the building that I'm coming up on, I did a video about it. In 1916, escape artist Harry Houdini, he came to Dayton and he performed a stunt off of this building, the top of this building right here. He escaped hanging upside down from his feet in a straitjacket and handcuffs. You can see the pictures. But that occurred right here. Now 40 West 4th Street, they're building it back up. They're bringing it back to life. And it's sat empty for the longest time, but I'm gonna get some footage of that. Yeah, you can tell they've cleaned the windows up and everything on it. You got lights on it on the inside. Here's a building that Harry Houdini hung off of. Right up there in that top corner, you can see video of where he did. This is supposed to be one of Dayton's most haunted buildings, too. Now there's the famous Rybold building down there, that beige one. Unfortunately, this garage right here that has seen a lot of unalivings, a lot of self-elimination over the years off of this garage. At least 10 that I've heard about. At least. I'm glad to see them open that building back up. When I was a kid, my probation officer was in there. They're opening the city back up a little bit. I keep my eye on this building right here, the Wilkinson. They have it scheduled. Well, they don't have it scheduled, but I think it's going to get torn down. I used to work in there. And that is owned by DMHA or Greater Dayton Premier. And then the famous Holden House right behind it. Right here, if you like Italian food, right, the place I'm talking about right in front of this bus, Spaghetti Warehouse in Dayton, Ohio, downtown. Amazing. They got a 15-layer lasagna in there. That'll do it.